Ahoy, me hearties! Welcome aboard me ship, the Bat Ship Crazy. The SS HMRS Bat Ship Crazy. Arr, it be a foe. Come here, you. It's tail time. It's tail time. Oh yeah, it's tail time. Wait a minute. I think that was a different lizard. Hello everyone, my name is Atratzu, and today I'm giving you my thoughts on Yooka Laylee, a game developed by Platonic Games. It was released 2017. I played 21 hours of the game and got 100% completed, though with the help of guides. Couple notes, I should point out that I have not actually played Banjo-Kazooie ever, and this is considered a spiritual successor to Banjo-Kazooie, so that's just kind of something that people should probably know. I have played some Collectathons lately, specifically Lego, but growing up I did play a lot of other games that were just 3D platformers like Spyro, so I do feel fairly familiar with the genre for the most part. Last note, I really hate quizzes, and that'll all make sense here in a second. So, this is Yooka Laylee. Yooka Laylee is a 3D platforming collectathon. You run around, you gather tons of stuff, and you complete the adventure. So, let's just jump into the game really quick. We're not going to jump into the game where I've completed all the things. We're going to jump into this game. We'll try to spoil as little as possible, and then at the end I'll show what a completed progressed game looks like so you can make your call based on that. So, the story for Yooka Laylee is Yooka and Laylee, Yooka being the green lizard and Laylee being the purple bat, were hanging out, and suddenly their golden book was stolen, and they were like, hey, give that back. And they've been pulled into this world, and now they are trying to get back pages of this golden book. And the pages are called pages. They're actually at the top here. You see, we right now have 0 pages, and then we have 5 quills. So this screen gives you a good idea of all the different things you're going to be collecting in this game. There's collecting items for pretty much everything. First off, the most common item in the game that you're going to be getting are these quills. There is a good tutorial at the beginning of the game that explains, like, you pick up your first quill and then there's a pop-up, because everything's anthropomorphic in this game, and the quills just like, collect me, and you collect these quills to buy you buy new abilities. So that's why you want to get these quills. And you also want to get the quills because once you collect all the quills in a level, you get a free pagey. But typically, you will have more than enough in pages and in quills to get through the game. You don't need to worry about getting 100% of the game. Though, it being a collectathon, that does really feel like the point of the game is to collect everything. So let's just explain the basic controls. So the basic controls for the game, I use this with a controller. You can play with a keyboard and mouse. If I switch to my keyboard right now, I can move around with WASD. I can move the camera with the mouse. That's how you move the camera. You jump with space, and then you duck down with control. And then, oh, we do have the sprinting ability already. And the sprinting ability, which is the first thing that you unlock, I think, is with shift. Though I did not like that. I preferred the controller. It was just one of those games that as soon as I played it, I knew right away that this was definitely a controller game. It can be played with keyboard and mouse, and if that's all you have, you can get through, but the controls with a controller just feel correct. I'm not even sure that I can properly articulate what it is. It's just that, like, when you move the camera, you're familiar with this type of control on how you'd move the camera with the controller. This feels normal. But once you move your mouse, I move my mouse to the right and the left, there's some like slow input lag or something. It just doesn't feel quite right with that. So I just don't quite like it with keyboard and mouse controls, which that should say a lot because I prefer keyboard and mouse controls in most video games. But again, this was just one of those games that I just had a feel for it, that I was like, no, not gonna happen. So explaining the user interface here, it all hides right away, but if we pause, we'll see the user interface here. At the top left of the screen, you have your butterflies. That is your health. If you get hit, hit me. Hit me. Yeah, that's right. Stick your tongue out. Hit me. Try and hit me. Oh. So as you can see, we have now lost 2 butterflies. You lose all the butterflies and you die. Now, an interesting thing to explain about the butterflies here, you can slurp them, and you do that. Oh, it's going to explain it, because we've never done that. You can slurp it with B. It's doing my job. It's explaining how to play the game for me. You can slurp them with B, and that'll restore your health, or you can run into them to restore your stamina. So if we can find another one, I'll demonstrate the stamina restoration here. But for now, I'm not seeing anything right now. The next thing to explain is the stamina bar, and that is the thing that you see slowly draining down right there at the top left. So the stamina drains down. Once the stamina hits 0, you are no longer able to use stamina abilities, like that rolling move. There is also underwater breath bubbles as well. That does not require your stamina. Those go down on their own accord. So as you can see, once all those go down, you drown. I never ran into any drowning problems in this game. You go down with the left trigger, and you go up by tapping A. I think you might be able to, there are some alternative. There's some alternative controls. Nope. Wait, yes. X to go down. You can also use X to go down, or you can, no, there's only A to go up. The reason why that might be significant is, I don't know. For me, the left trigger makes sense because this is the ducking one. So it's like, yeah, of course you'd press left trigger to go down. He's already going down like that. So that's my thought process. Anything else on the user interface? Yooka Laylee's face over there. Most of the other things that you see in this pause menu only show up when you collect them, and then they promptly hide themselves, as they properly should. You really don't need to see how many pages that you have in the game. You don't need to see how many quills you have in the game. You don't need to know that next on the top right, underneath the quill, is called a Molly Cool. You only get 1 per level. The next one is a Retro Play token. You only get 1 per level. And I think you only get 1 of the health. That item there, if you got one of those, it would increase your max health by 1 butterfly point. And then the same thing for the one under there. It increases your stamina bar just by a little bit. And then at the bottom there, you'll see these hollowed out shapes. Those are called ghost riders. And those are the things that you're collecting. Now, from world to world, you might be gathering some different items. They change it up a little bit, but generally those are the things that you're trying to collect. Here you go. You jump into the butterfly and it brings back your stamina. So we are currently in the first level, which I can't remember the name of this place right now. The Tribal Stack Tropics. So this is the first level that you go into. We actually started the game in the hub world, where you navigate from world to world. So first, let's go back to the hub world and explain a little bit more there. You start out on that, basically that ship that I used for the intro part of this video. You start out on that ship, and then you find your way into Hivory Towers. Oh, we're gonna get a message. You're back and alive. It seems as that Snake chap lost his bet. Yeah, hold on. What bet? Oh, I should stop skipping. Sorry, I'll let you hear the voice animations. This is what I get for playing through the game. I'm like, I've heard them talk a million times. Those Grand Tomes can be a dangerous place, but it's good. You're back. I have something important to share. Ting tang, walla walla bing bang. Can be expanded with the power of the page you found. Choosing to expand will make the world bigger, full of extra challenges to discover. That sounds cool. Dang it, I need to stop doing that. Once you found enough, I'm told you already snatched a Hivory Brown new one to unlock this. shoot, I gotta stop doing that. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to skip dialogue. Here we go. That is the extent of the voice acting in this game. It's very amusing. Each character has a different noise that it makes. It's easy, just swip to find out which part to punch out. There is a lot of this talking though. Once you get past the first couple of, you do the first things for a bit, then the tutorials kind of go away, but there's a lot of hand holding. One of the things that I kind of think about it is just like, I think a part of this is that this game might have been, I think of it as like, it seems more kid-friendly, though oddly enough as a kid I would have hated to read. That would have been the worst. Hey, yo. Please, come find me again when you're in the mood for some top deals. This is Trousers, my favorite character in the game. I love this guy. He's so funny. So, you start the world here, and that brings us up to capital B, the villain. So kind of jumping around here, but the story, as I said, Yooka Laylee, these two, their book was stolen by capital B, and he's the villain, and that's all there is to it, and he's up to his maniacal evilness, and that's his sidekick down there, Dr. Quack, the vice president. And yeah, there's a lot of moves in here. If you ever need to know the moves, you can go to the move info here, and that tells you everything. Once again, why do I even explain anything? But they do very good with their tutorial sections. Anytime that I got stuck at a spot in a level, I would actually come here, and then I would go over to these pages, pages 2 and 3, to look through if there were any abilities that I was forgetting, because a lot of times I'd forget them later on. This is one of those like Metroidvania style power-ups that you get. Your character gets stronger and you get new abilities as you play. And your character gets a lot of abilities, actually. Enough that it kept me interested and intrigued through the entire thing. So, yeah, I was very pleased by it. So, again, we're heading back into World 1. There are, let's see here, I think there were 6 levels. I'd need to count them off, and I don't want to count them off exactly. There were about 5 or 6 levels. The reason why I don't want to say too much about them is because each area was exciting and colorful and interesting to look at. And that was one of the exciting things about going into this game completely fresh. I think this first world is just like, you got to see something, and so this would be the world that I would show. Every world has a different theme, and I really liked every one of them. That is something that I like to say about Yooka Laylee right off bat, is I really like how colorful and vibrant the world is. That is absolutely one of my favorite things, along with how upbeat and enjoyable the music is. I find the character designs interesting. I wouldn't go as far as the Steam page goes of calling each one unique. This Cloud Boy here is just like, you can forget this guy. I don't remember this guy's name. I'm gonna just keep going through this. I don't remember necessarily the characters as well as I remember, like, I to the end I don't even remember. I have a trouble telling the difference between Yooka and Laylee. I'm just like, Yooka Laylee. I think of them as one character. To be fair, maybe that's how it was with Banjo-Kazooie, but for me, I know Banjo's the bear, Kazooie is the bird. Maybe that'd be more funny if I got it backwards. So we're currently racing that Nimbus cloud, and uh-oh, I might have gotten in trouble by missing that butterfly. Come here. Oh, I missed it again. That's not good. That's not good. That's not good. That's not good. That is bad. That is bad news, bears. I'm about to lose. Let's go. Let's go. Am I gonna be able to make this up? I don't know. Okay. Oh, I took the long way. I should have taken the shortcut. I had the stamina to take the shortcut. And I think it's 1 lap. Man, if I lose this, okay, we've still got time. Oh. All right, so looks like you found enough quills. Meow, 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 meow. Come on. I can just sneak it. Oh, I won that my first time. And I didn't want to lose that because I was recording. That is when you would lose. So we finished a mission, and ta-da, we have been awarded a pagey. The pages actually, like said, are pretty easy to get, but you are given a bit of a choice. You can choose to upgrade worlds, or you can choose to unlock new worlds. And again, the way that Yooka Laylee is set up is you don't need to unlock all of the pages. You don't even need to unlock all the world stuff for the most part, but you probably will need to, because to face the final boss, you are capped. You can only fight the final boss after getting 100 pages, I think they said. And I was just like, meh, I'm just going to get everything else in the game before I actually do anything. So that was my choice. Now would be a good time to talk about how to get new abilities. Trousers is your ability dealer, if you will. He gives you a free one at the start, and then you go over here, and there's always a reference to the characters, how they interact with each other, which, again, that's something. Yooka Laylee is full of puns. It is the type of humor that it has. You probably want to make the call early on if you enjoy this type of humor, because if you find it really, really grating, it doesn't get any better once you get through it. So just constantly with, you know, Trousers being like, yes, welcome to my office. And then Laylee being like, this is your office. This is just like an outdoor tiki hut. And then it's just like, it feels like, oh, you're supposed to laugh at this. Ha ha ha. Hold on, I thought we had a deal. Unlock world, give us freebies. My freebie apply only on the towers, I'm afraid. In the Tome world, it's business as usual. Meh, 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 meh. So, we have a choice. Do we want Sonar Shot, Slurp Shot, or Buddy Slam? A smashing move, this one. Let's do this one. Are you sure you want this one? Yeah, and then you can go get 30 more quills. You can learn this. No need. I know that's the Y button. I got it. Yep, Y button. Got it. Sorry, I'm skipping. I don't have the time to listen to him go meh, 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 meh. And you go back. Once you get more quills, you can use it to stun, but you can also use it to wake up these guys. That's just one of those things that you, just as you unlock abilities, you get the hang of what you're supposed to do, and the buttons all fill out on the controller. Once again, it just makes more sense to play it with a controller. But this is pretty much what the world looks like. And again, to play through the whole game, it took me 21 hours. And again, that was just trying to get everything. Just kind of that completionist mentality that I can't always do that with a game. And playing a game for 21 hours and getting 100% feels pretty good. But again, there were some parts that were really frustrating. So, generally speaking, the 3D platforming feels rather natural to me. Oh, are we gonna get the Molly Cool? Are we? Yes, we're gonna get the Molly Cool. Ta-da, and now we're gonna get another, oh, hello, it's me, Molly Cool. Take me to Dr. Puzz for a cool surprise. And there's a Molly Cool on every level, and then you get, well, let's do this. Fall damage. Oh, nope, not fall damage here. You do take fall damage if you jump from too high. Fall damage does more damage than almost everything else. Wasn't expecting visitors. You must be blah, blah, blah. Yes, fishbowl lady. This is one of the things that some people have complained about in the reviews that I've read, is that the characters are just basically like quest holder. Like, you could really just use any character for the role that this character does, which I get, and I'm just indifferent for the most part. And since I'm indifferent to it, it's just like, I recognize that a lot of the complaints that people have about Yooka Laylee are definitely valid. I don't know who would necessarily be a better pick, but you don't really feel like it just feels like you have these side characters that just show up. And they're just like, okay, it's just, I guess I'll look for this person now. And the ability that they're going to unlock, which is, you know, walk up to this find the molly cool, walk up to this platform, and get turned into something. You can't do it unless you get the molly cool, so boom. Wow, what a wacky thing we are. Yooka Laylee has been turned into a plant. Hey, hot staff, come on, pay me some attention. This is when I'm just like, is this some influence from Conker's Bad Fur Day? Another game I haven't played, but I've watched some. I'm not, you know, ignorant on the Rare games. That's probably something that should have been said earlier. If you were unaware, this game was kickstarted, and a lot of the people that worked at Platonic, or at least worked on this game, used to work at Rareware Studios. So that's another reason on why this is considered a spiritual successor to the Banjo-Kazooie games. So it's just showing you more. You run over there, you just blast him with pollen, and ta-da, you did it. You did the thing. You only have 2 abilities. You kind of have a bit of a springy jump, and you press X to blast him. Excuse me, hiccups. To blast him with pollen. And yeah. First time playing through, it's fun and interesting. Second time playing through, I'm like, kind of just busy work for the most part. But I don't know. It's one of those things that it's hard to look back. I can't push that. I need to switch back and transform. So I have to hop my way back here and switch. It's one of those things that I would like to hear people's opinions when you're dealing with nostalgic games. This game's definitely tapping into the nostalgia factor. And when you're dealing with an older game, like my reference is like Spyro Year of the Dragon, all right? So when dealing with Spyro Year of the Dragon, how much of it was just busy, annoying work, and how much of it was like actual engaging gameplay? And it's kind of tough because, like, you know, a lot of people look through their childhood with rose-colored glasses, and so I think of like the good times and how much fun I had with those video games. And I load it up, and I do have fun with those video games, but because of the nostalgia, I have a more fervent love for a game that than I necessarily might have. All right, let's do the jump and the blast. Did I get him? I did. All right, missing 1. Where's the 1? There's the 1. You are the 1. Got that one. There we go. And now I've done 6 of 6. Thank you for helping. So I shot the root. Here's some romantic gift. There might be some innuendo there, but you can't prove it. And then you can talk. Thanks for helping, man. Sisters grow hot stuff. You're certainly their type, but I don't go for plants with googly eyes. Sorry. Wait, did they do that? Was this the character that I do this and there was somebody there was one of these plants that there it is. I appreciate your enthusiasm, but I'm done for the season. Come back next year. By the way, if you ever want to end a transformation, you hold down the right trigger, and then that ends the transformation this way. Probably should have done that instead of running back to the transformation platform, but, you know, that's an option as well. So, there are a lot of different game modes that you can do. So, not game modes per se, but mini-game things that you do. You do this one where you get transformed. You also do one with an old arcade-style mission, and that is over here. So first we'll talk to this guy, which this is all retro-themed characters. It's like lots of pixels and polygon references for the most part. Where is the play coin on this level? I don't know if I can find the play coin on this level right now. Can I can't. I don't have the abilities. Well, I guess I'm not going to show it. You need to use a play coin, and then you can play an arcade style game. You can also play all these for free. You can also stream, well, on Steam anyway, you can stream play to friends as well. Didn't do that because they didn't seem like very interesting games to be playing with somebody else, but hey, it's an option. It's always good to have options. Well, if you ever need to get back to the hub, you can quickly leave the hub at any point. And I don't know that there's much else that I would say about Yooka Laylee. I think that, you know, if you like 3D platformers, if you miss playing them, I haven't played very many 3D platformers these days, so for me, I got exactly what I wanted. You can't do it, you need at least 3 of us. Yeah, I'm just one short. Well, that's dumb. So, this is probably a good enough idea for if this would be something that you'd be interested in. You unlock 3 abilities per level, and you... What do we need to progress? I don't remember what we need to progress. What if we want to go to level 2? If we want to go to level 2, which is over here, it takes a little bit to get familiar with the hub world here, but it doesn't take that long. Alright, let's go over here. You need the stomp. We don't have the stomp. So you have to unlock the stomp ability first to stomp on this, and then that opens up the door. And then every level that you go to will give you 3 new abilities that you can pick up, and then that will just continue throughout the game. And there will be small micro adjustments to your character, and yeah, it just chugs along. It was a well-paced game, kept my interest the entire time. Every level was colorful. I was always curious what else was going to be unlocked. I was in the mood to play a collectathon, cartoony style child game. Again, not to say that Yooka Laylee is perfect. There are things that I agree that if it's something that annoys you, then yeah, this is not the game for you. If you there's a lot of, what is it, fourth wall breaking? There's a lot of self-referential humor. There is a lot of, here, let me show you. Let me show you one of the first things I found when I got into this level. I was like, what's down here? And I was like, I'm gonna get these. There's a lot of self-referential humor. There's a lot of internet, they reference, they're like, oh, hope you'll be in the second game. That was a reoccurring theme, and I was like, oh, that was so funny the first time. Why don't you keep on making that joke? And so they're like, haha, hope to see you in the next game. So yeah, it's stuff like that it's like, all right, yeah, not a fan. There's a lot of I don't know what to call it, gamer humor for the most part. It's just again, just stuff that I just didn't find funny. And for me, that was fine, because for me, the enjoyment of this game was just the colorful world, the music, and just the therapeutic process of, I see quill, I grab quill. I see butterfly, I eat butterfly. I am but a simple man. I do not need to think much. And, you know, it would, again, there were frustrating parts. There's a quizzing section. Every time the quizzes popped up in the game, I venomously hated them. I hate Dr. Quacks for making me do quizzes, and then he promised not to do quizzes anymore, and he lied. He lied. The guy is always doing quizzes. I hate him so much. And, yeah. There was one with a pagey who was like, how many tiles are on the floor? And I was like, all right. And I just brute forced my way through it. And I couldn't remember the correct answers. And so I just kept on going through it. And I wanted to play Monster Hunter Rise with my brothers. And I thought that I would be done with that mission. But no, that mission was not done. That mission was not even close to done. I was like, all right, I'm going to start the call. And so I described it. And my brother was like, that sounds like the point that you normally look up something online. And I was like, yeah, but I don't want to look it up online. I was commenting to a friend the other day that we were playing chess, and I was commenting to him, when we were making stockfish jokes. It's like, oh, I'm gonna go check stockfish. I'm like, that's like entering in cheat codes. When you're cheating in a game, it's just like that takes the fun out of it for me. So I don't want to like enter in cheat codes or anything like that. So I don't want to look up a guide unless it's absolutely necessary. And at that point, it's like cost effective. Like, what is the best use of my time? Is my time best spent spending 100 hours in a game just to get a statistic on my profile that no one cares about? The only one that cares about it is me. Correction. I care immensely. That's because getting 100% is a sickness. I wouldn't wish it upon anybody. You live your life so much better when you're not trying to do stuff. Alright, so this is where you'd have the choice. You could save your pages to unlock another world, because once you find the next world, you have to pay pages to unlock it. Or you can upgrade this one. Now that we have our 3, let's upgrade Tropics. And this upgrade will then bring the boss of this world into this game, which every world has a boss, but again, I don't think they're really necessary. I think you could probably skip all the bosses in this game and you would still have enough pages to get through the whole thing. So again, yeah. Once you enter into the world, again, it shows you kind of like a sky view perspective of the new areas. So it's like, okay, check out these areas. So it's like, okay, what's new? And it's like, you expanded the world. Come and find my friends. Right. And they're like, ooh, it's expanded this way. Oh, who's that guy in the blue armor? I wonder who that guy is. And it's like, oh, what's up there? And then over there, it's like, oh, look at this. There's a parkour course over there. That was a fun one to do. I enjoyed that thoroughly. It's like, whoa, look at this tall tower all the way to the sky. And what was that? There was something that was at the top of the tower, and that's the boss. He was actually kind of funny. I liked that boss. The other bosses I didn't like so much. That one I did like. Oh, look, what a happy cloud. What a happy cloud. So, I think, again, this is enough for you to see if this is what you like, if this is the type of gameplay that you're looking for, and you enjoy or can tolerate the type of humor and the hand-holding. And again, it's not a hard game. And even if you were trying to figure out for yourself to 100% it, I don't think that it would have taken me more than an additional 10 hours to get everything else. Because again, it just brute forced my way through. There's another ability that we haven't really touched on. They're called tonics. There's this yellow refrigerator, who I always thought looked like a big cheese. And you run up to her, and she will let you use different tonics. And one of the tonics that you can get will allow you to locate rare items easier, and it's just a whistling sound effect that plays on the screen. So anyone looking to 100% it, I would recommend having that on, which I did the entire time. You'll still miss stuff, but I would recommend having it on. What can I get you? One, please. One tonic. You got to present your company ID card first. Ivory. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, got it. Thank you, Miss Refrigerator. Yes. Okay. Cool beans. All right. Yes. All right. So, do we... Oh, Alright, well, after you beat the game, they're all unlocked. We want... No. Since there it is. Hunter. That's the one that you want to unlock. You have to do special stuff. For example, I unlocked the pants when I completed the game. And 24-bit is a cool visual mode, but makes my computer cry. So we do this, and it's like, oh, look at that. I'm like, wow, oh, this doesn't look good at all. All the frame drops. Let's stop making my computer cry. I don't know if it's just this bad or if it's just bad on my computer, but regardless, we're not doing 64-bit. Cute mode, not happening though. When you have the hunter mode on, and again, you can see you can only have one tonic on at a time. When the hunter mode is on, you hear whistling, which, do you hear that? Oh. Unfortunately, I know exactly where that one is. So, you hear the whistling. More whistling. Ah. Whistling is getting closer. Oh, can't jump there. Do you hear that whistling getting closer? I didn't want to play this with my bird around because I was worried that he was going to pick up on that. What's that noise? Well, we don't even have the ability to get it. So, yeah, that's where my conclusion was. What I decided to do when playing to be most efficient, I tried to progress through the worlds as fast as possible so that I could get all my abilities and so I could minimize backtracking. So that's the strategy that I did. But that whistling sound effect is letting you know that there's a rare item that's nearby that you can gather. And yeah, I'd recommend having that on while you're playing through so that you can locate the rare items. You can locate quills, but only after you've gathered like a large chunk of the quills in the level. Think of it like this. Once you get most of the quills become rare items. So to recomb over a level where I might have missed something, I then need to just re-go through that level afterwards. And if you're ever needing to keep track of it, the view totals is your friend. So this lets you know just overall where everything's at. This lets you know where the hub world is at. And this one over here lets you know where World 1 is at. And as you can see, just from the tiny bit that we've done today, 3 pages, 42 quills, 1 Molly Cool, and the yellow ghost. So there's still a lot more to see in that world. Each world, again, just kind of spaced out, spent about the same amount of time on each world. Yeah. Let's go back to the main menu, look at a couple more things before I start spoiling what a completed world looks like and all your abilities. As you can see, you have a couple other options here that you can play, kind of hinted at. Retro's Arcade 1 player, Retro's Arcade 2 to 4 player. Again, if you have friends that you want to play these arcade games with, cool beans, you can do that. I'm always happy to just have more options, even if I never get around to using them. And again, Steam Stream Play is the method that you would use for this. So none of your friends need the game if you do it this way. Rextro's Arcade, let's do one of the other things. The reason I have 2 worlds here is I wanted to know if I could play all of the arcade games on a new game or the old game, and when I played it on a new game, it just it just started counting up on the time for the most part. And as you can see, you can have 3 different games going simultaneously. It doesn't make a difference where you play it because they're all unlocked regardless of where you play it. The only difference, I think, is that it keeps track of where the high score is. And so if we play on this one, we get to see what my high score was at the end of the game. There's another thing I'd like to point out. There's an odd Steam statistic that's labeled for none of these games. So these aren't even sent to like a leaderboard where you can see what your friends' scores were. So there really is not much point other than just playing them, I suppose. As you can see, these are all the different games that are available to you. Is this new? Blag the Flag. I don't think I played this one at all. All the other ones you will encounter in the game. 2-minute game. Let's just do this one. This is the one that I think you do in the first world. No. Yes. No. Yes. Yes. Final answer. This is the first one. Maybe it's not. I don't remember. The whole goal here is you collect these quills. You collect the quills, and you run around. Good old isometric camera. And let's do this. Ooh, oh. No. Get out of here. And we do have a health meter at the top right of the screen. Once again, our butterflies tells us our health meter. The goal is to try to get these quills before they expire. And the color of the quill represents its quality. Gold quills give you the most points, silver quills give you the next, and then bronze quills are the most abundant and the most worthless. So you don't really care about getting bronze quills. But you just grab everything that you can. And let's keep going here. And you just keep on going until the time runs out. Invincibility, nobody cares. Alright, let's get that. And that's the speed power-up that I don't really care about. Ah, and you get hit and you lose them. Crap, crap, crap. Come on, come on. Oh, no, not it's silver. It's expiring. Oh, wow, okay. And so now all of that's sinking in there. Come here. I want that golden one, please. Pretty please. I said please and everything. There's the golden one. You really don't want the golden one to expire. All right. No. 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Oh, come on. All right, well, we'll take it. We'll see what my score was. Hey, I've outscored myself yet again. They call you you. They don't let me put in my three letter initials. That's too bad. So yeah, you can play all those different arcade games, options and stuff. This is where you can track your achievements. These hook up to your Steam achievements. So if you're playing this on something else, it doesn't matter. These are the achievements though. If you wanted to know, I don't know if this is on the Switch, but if you're on another platform and you're like, ah, I could have had all of these on my Steam profile. Instead, I don't, because you don't care about that. And then stats, look at all those stats. Minions defeated, pages earned, quills collected. Those are some tasty stats. Credits are long as heck, because Kickstartered, of course. Lots of people in the credits there. Let's look at what a completed game looks like. So we'll look at all the different abilities that we have here. So if you don't want this spoiled for you, which I'd recommend not having it spoiled for you, I would recommend clicking off at this point. But if you want to see what all the abilities that you unlock are, then stick on the windows. By the way, I unlocked pants, so I was like, I'm gonna make him wear pants. I worked hard for that. So let's go over the abilities here. We can just look into the move info area here. So you already know about those. You already know about some of those. You got the stomp. You've got the different licking ability to turn into different, like you can turn sticky to attach at the bottom right, the B ability. You can turn sticky to attach to like roll up slippery slopes. You got a spring ability. Ah, that one there, the left thumbstick press. Actually, I can just press this here, right? What if I do this with the controller? Controls info. No, wow. Okay, I'm controlling it with the keyboard and mouse right now, and it's still giving you the controls with the controller. So that might just be because my controller's plugged in, but ooh, that's not good. All right, left click in. That's an important thing because I got stuck at one point of the game. That's where if you want to aim where you're shooting something, that's the mode that you're looking after. Also, will you notice just how many butterflies I have and how big the stamina bar goes? So that's what you're dealing with. So I would recommend, do not forget that you can click in the left thumbstick to enter into aim mode, and that will help you out on some of the puzzle sections of the game, because I got stuck there because I thought that I only had one way to aim, and boy, that made it hard. I platformed real hard to get around that problem. Then you got a spring ability, and you've got an air bubble ability, and then you got a zip line ability, but only to the like tiki looking things there. And then you've got an pulling ability. You got both of those at the same time. You've got a sonic wave ability. You can turn invisible for a short time. You've got a dash ability, so you turn into Sonic the Hedgehog. You have a flying ability, and you have a shielded ball ability. So the cool thing is this flying ability that you unlock towards the end of the game, because of course you unlock it at the end of the game. because it lets you basically circumvent and bypass most of the puzzles. You still will need to roll around at times, but this just makes searching and mopping up the game so much easier. And it was at this point that I was like, all right, this is a game that I can 100%, because just there are only a few areas of the game that you need to really exercise aptitude? No. Yaw, what's the word? Yaw. Do you hate it when you have a word in your mind and you just cannot think what that word is? I thought the word that I was looking for was versatility, but I don't think it is. Okay, we'll use easier language then instead of thesaurus language. You have to demonstrate that you have mastery over the different abilities. And so some sections are testing you to see whether or not you can get through them fast enough with the sprinting ability. And so there'll be sections that you cannot get through unless you are using this dash ability in addition to the rolling. So there are sections that you do need to demonstrate your ability with them, but those are few and far in between, and even they were not that challenging. Again, I think that this game feels like it was made a lot. It was very easy. I feel like it was made for kids and the adult kids alike. So again, I don't mean that in a bad way. I'm perfectly fine with it being like this. I was pleased with the casual Collectathon experience, and again, the colorful world is what won me over, really. Get him! But yeah, I think that's enough for this video. Thank you so much for hanging out, watching this with me. Hopefully this video was helpful to you. If you were considering checking out Yooka Laylee, hopefully that has helped you make your decision one way or another. My name is Atratzu, and thank you for watching. I will see you in the next video. Take care. Look at the bird. Look at the bird. Where'd the bird go? I realized I never actually fell down here. Ah! Insta-death. Cool beans.